let's move into the home option. So as we see, the paste is control V. It can be used, it is same as your Windows control C, control V, but is control X, copy. Format painter, probably if you have something of this sort to be moved to this visualization, you can move it. It's more like the contents of your format this screen, right? So let's do one thing. Select a customer filter over here, since it is known as a slicer, right, which in other terms is a filter. So let's call it as a slicer over here. In this slicer, I am right now having a background of, let's say I enable the background, I make it a gray color background. Now I don't know what all features of the format I have selected for this visualization, but I want the same visualization feature to be applied to the product name. So what I do is I would select this, I would select product filter and apply it. So now both the visualization have the same kinds of attributes, and now it looks consistent on your screen. This helps the end user understand the contents of your report pretty well. Get data, as I said, we've started with Excel to begin with. Today we see all of these in the later stages of our understanding of Power BI. Recent sources is a shortcut to your recent files, what you have worked upon, right? So currently we've worked upon sample. So in the order of descending order of the access, it would give you a list of sources. Enter data is something you can create your own data over here. So if I say regions, for me regions are many, and I can say north, then I can say south, then I can say central, I can say west, I can say east. So this is one more way of getting a data apart from an external data. You can create your own tables. Basically, when you come into Power BI, there is something known as tables, that is nothing but an Excel sheet of rows and columns which you use it offline. Rather, you can name it as uh, region table, right, to begin with, and you say load. So this thing is also included in the current Power BI desktop development. Right now it is building the table, and if you go back and see, regions are available. If you want to link those regions, this is something advanced I'm going to show it to you apart from the menu icons. Is, let's say uh, there's a city, country, state. Okay, you don't have a region over here, you have a region over here. So right now I'm not able to identify what people and column means. So let's go into the data, right? And this is the second tab, second icon in this vertical menu option, wherein the data option gives you a capability to explore the contents of it. So right now, this column is lying empty. This column is column 2. It is not renamed, right? So this is one way of cleaning your data to make it consistent. What I'll go back and see is, what is a person named as? Person is named as customer name. So let's go back to the people table and just name it as customer name. It is not permitting me to. Okay, since, see, this is one more thing. If you initiate an action on Power BI, ensure that action is completed, or else Power BI will continuously prompt you to get that things into the system. So this is one thing which is again there in the system. I now close this, and now it won't prompt. Let's now rename this as customer name. It is there. And now let's name it as regions. So from the region table, have we have renamed it as regions, right? So let's, for the consistent, also there is one more way. You shouldn't have plurals in your names titles. So I've renamed it to region. Now let's go back into orders table, not the orders table. Let's go back into the, let's say, not the people table, and just rename it to region. So what I'm doing is I'm cleaning the data in front of you all, right? This is one piece of it. Now look, this was a pending action which was there. I would like to delete these words, right? So I have deleted the orders. I'll only keep the things which are of in the parenthesis with the numeric 2 in it. So I am deleting these things for simplicity of our understanding in the development, and continue the development over here. So these are the three things available over here, right? All right, this is the returns column. It has, let's say, is return. I have spelled it wrong. Okay, and then let's name it as order ID if I am not wrong. Just to check this out, let's go into orders table and read that order. This in please remember, all the things what you see in the list format on the right hand side would always be sorted in an ascending alphabetical order. So if you are looking for an order ID, you have to read from top to bottom, get the order ID in the exact tense, and go back to the table where you came from. No, this was not the table. The table name is return, and just ensure that the same content is given. Lucky, it's the same content what was available. Now if we go back and see, there are chances we can create some sense out of this. We can link region to region in this fashion. It can identify one is too many option, because for every region inside the people parenthesis to parenthesis table, there is one region of a unique one and only region available in the regions table. This is an entity relationship. One is to many. Star means many. One is one. Also remember, one important point to note over here is many to many relationship is not available over here. Now let's see another thing. If you have an order ID in the returns column, there should be exactly one order in the order table. So if I try to link it over here, it creates one is too many. At the same time, if I go and name customer name to customer name, link it to customer name, it would create another column. So now your connections of the table is done. Please remember what we have done. We have built a new table into the system called region table. We've imported three sheets, which is order, people, and returns from an Excel sheet. We built the relationship between those sheets, right? And now with this, now let's see the magic on this screen. Let's take one more visualization, right? Okay. And now let's make it as a filter visualization. Let's ensure that filter exactly looks like the other filter available. And from the returns, from the region table, we are taking the region field over here. So now, if we see blank, is there anything blank? No. Oh, there is one blank, I believe. Right. There is one row which does not have anything. So that's why it is blank. So this is one error on our, no, there is no fields over here, right? Let's see what all sales have happened on the north. Nothing. Okay. Anything on this west? Yes, there are lots of west. Anything on the east? There are lots of east. There is north? No, nothing in the north. Anything in the central? Yes, there are many in central. So there has been no sales in the north. Otherwise, you have found sales everywhere. Again, if you want to select more than one region for comparison, you can view it in this manner. All right. So this is the visualization. This is the fields column. Also, the tables are arranged in the alphabetical order. Visualization area wherein you can select your visualization to be used into the screen. We've seen new visual. Let's have an ask a question. This is something different over here. Let's scroll up and have a look. So let's reduce this to a bit. Let's drag it over here or just double click, and it brings lot many ask a question. I don't want that many ask a question over here. Okay, so let's delete this, and that's about it. So now what I would say is, give me region by, okay, region by, or product by region. So if you are looking out which product went to which region, you can get it by here. Let's say sales, or you should say revenue by region. So right now west is selected, so it is reflecting the west. Let's do one thing, just uncheck the west. So this is a region. If you have some more queries, you can also ask this area, analyze it, copy it, such things can come up. So very beautifully what it does over here is it can permit you to query the data into the available in the Power BI desktop, and on its own builds its own chart based on what it sees important, or the best way of visualizing that data. So this is an ask a question option over here. We can change it, that's fine. So let's do ask a question again. Let's say, look at here, the option to ask questions is over here. Let's say sales by region, right? Sales is not the word, the column what we have in our system is revenue. So if we move out of here and we select here, we go here, and these are the different ways you can put it under spotlight. What it does, it disables the other options, and you can blow it up to view it in a better way. You can minimize, go back to the same option, and that's about it. Now let's see, there's an option of buttons over here. If you want to go back to some previous screen, you want some information, you want some help screen, you have a left arrow, right arrow, reset. So there's a reset option over here. So let's explore all of them one by one.